And now, podcasting from the sun-scorched desert Southwest, weighing in at a combined total of 340 pounds, Brad Winchester, Tyler McDowell-Blanken, are Gimmick Infringement.
Welcome, everybody, to the Gimmick Infringement Podcast. I am Brad Winchester, and with me, as always, is my tag team partner, Tyler McDowell-Blanken. I guess I shouldn't say as always. I wasn't here last week, Tyler. How you doing?
Yeah, man, you're healed. You're back. You look great. For our listeners, Brad is rocking an absolutely exquisite Hawaiian shirt with some Winnie, with some Freya, and it is fantastic. I'm just so happy you're back, man. We missed you. Shout out to the great Mike Steph for filling in. And yeah, man, I am doing well. It's May. It's like mid-May already. We're recording this on Mother's Day. What a glorious occasion to record an episode. All is well here, man. How are you feeling?
Doing much better. I don't know if I had something or if I was just really anxious for the week ahead. Last week was hellacious. Family out of town, ran a book fair, AP testing. Friday, I collapsed at a heap on my chair behind my desk at school. I was just sitting there. Kids were like, "Hey, can you help me with this?" It's like, "Sure, bring it over here. I'll help you." I'm not getting up. Just bring it over here. You
said collapse, right? I heard that correctly.
I sat down and
I got worried.
Just a puddle. Could not move. I didn't pass out. I just couldn't get up.
No, that's you completely
or was completely unwilling to get up, I guess is the better way to say it.
I'm not mad at you.
Was excited to see Jess and Freya. Their flight was supposed to land at 2:43, and you notice I used the word supposed to. The words, I should say. It
2:43 in the afternoon.
PM. It got delayed.
Okay, good.
They were going to get to Phoenix late, missed their connecting flight to Tucson. The next flight out was going to be 10 p.m., but they were going to land at like noon, just late enough where they wouldn't be able to get on the plane to Tucson for that flight. So anyway, the father-in-law picked them up from the airport in Phoenix, but then the luggage didn't get there, and they had to wait for the flight to bring the luggage to Tucson. They had to go to this awful day for them.
No, one of those trips.
Yeah, it wasn't all wrapped up for them until about 8:30 p.m. when they finally rolled up to the house. But it was
how did Freya do with the whole the airport
traveling stuff? She's great. She was great when we went a couple years ago. She seems to like doing the traveling stuff or doesn't mind it. She's just like, yeah, cool. Let's go. The amusement park went a little differently, but I think the rookie moves of just not researching all the stuff that's there. I would have been like exploring all the Universal Studios options, right, especially the Harry Potter or the Wizarding World. I think it's Diagon Alley. I think it might be Gringotts. There's a dragon on top that roars and stuff. But when you hear it growling and roaring, it happens sporadically throughout the day. You don't know when it's going to happen. It's not on a timer. It just sort of does things. You'll hear it growl and roar and then burst out a giant flame out of its mouth.
So badass or potential nightmare?
Yes.
For a kid.
Yes. So Jess and Cindy
both things
were walking.
Can be true.
Jess and Cindy, Jess's mom, were walking with Freya underneath it to go into the store, not thinking about how there's this giant wall of humanity that made a U shape around the dragon to look at it because it's making all these noises. They got right under it when the thing started breathing fire, which none of them knew it did. There was ducking, and then there was screaming, and then there was terror and being inconsolable. She had a tough time at the amusement park between loud noises, fireballs, dragons. I don't know that this is the best age for her. She hates loud sounds. So it was.
Wow. The airport, the airplane part of it, total trooper.
Fine.
The amusement park presented
no amusement.
Some real challenges.
She was not amused.
It was just the park. It was
just terror park, fear park.
It was
especially when Dementors showed up on the screen and she looked at them and thought, oh no, Harry Potter saves the day every time they show up. But
I'm getting all of this organically too. I didn't even ask you about all these details.
Nope, I thought I'd save it. Wow. Yep. Yeah,
well, I'm glad they made it, even though delayed by many hours. Glad they made it back safe and sound. I'm sure you are excited that your girls are back. So many people
Absolutely.
in my life have been asking me about you, and more extensively asking about Freya as of late. So please know you're over, Brad. But Freya, man, I hope
Yeah.
you can get to her level one day. She's quite popular.
Yeah, she's the head of the bloodline, this bloodline anyway.
Facts.
It's absolutely crazy. But she's got a lot of support. That trip seemed fun. Jess went with her mom. Jess is a great mom, and that's what we're here to talk about today. We're going to talk about moms today. Our moms, Tyler, the moms in our life, and the mom everybody loves, Mami, Rhea Ripley. So Tyler, I want to kick this off by passing it to you. Tell us about the moms in your life.
So I was gonna come prepared with notes, and rest assured, I have notes for the Rhea portion. But when it comes to moms, there was too much to possibly write down, and rather than give you a ad read vibes, I figured it would be better to just speak from the heart. So obviously, I have to start with my mom, the most amazing woman I know, and her relationship to wrestling is it's not non-existent. She has a relationship to it, but I can remember from my earliest age that she made it clear she was not about it. She had no interest in going to shows or watching a pay-per-view for any substantial amount of time, but she always encouraged my love for it. When my dad and I would have wrestling matches, in the dining room, and we would bring Amazon boxes out and we'd use them as tables and bring out the ladder and other nefarious household tools to use as weapons. She she on some days she would not be happy about it. She would express that, but more often than not, she would just really allow us to engage in this silly, amazing form of entertainment that is just so fantastic. So my mom's amazing. Of course, happy Mother's Day to her. Of course, I would not be here without her, and she has sacrificed literally so much for me and continues to do so. She's the GOAT. Other women in my life, really, Brad, I think of kind of two different camps. I think of friends' moms who have become like honorary moms to me over the years. I would say they probably know who they are. And then the teachers, the colleagues specifically that I've had in teaching who have kind of taken me under their wing and been mentors for me. So these are people you and I adore. I'm thinking of the Gail Thorbertsons. I actually just saw her not so long ago. The Mary Romeros, the Sheila Nakaratis. I worry that I'm forgetting amazing women right now because there are so many of them. But women who not only give to hundreds, if not thousands of kids over the span of their career, but do all this and make it look effortless, being an amazing teacher, making it look effortless while raising kids of their own.
Yeah.
I could not imagine. So my heart is full every Mother's Day. I'm blessed to know so many amazing women who are like moms to me and serve as moms to so many kids. And it's just a real treasure to know them. And I would like to be better about honoring them, not just one Sunday every May, but throughout the year.
Well said, man. You named off some people there that I also have on a list. The one in my head, in my heart, it's so different now, the way that I view things. But I want to start with my mom. My mom's incredible. We talk about adoption stuff every once in a while, and it's one of those things that my mom didn't have me. My mom chose me, and I get to say that. Not everybody gets to say that, and I think that's pretty remarkable. She, similar to you, we were not engaged in wrestling in the living room. Me and my dad. Dad was not going to be having any of that. Some catch out in the yard, some stuff with basketball or whatever, or just letting my brother and I do our thing in the house. We were the ones that would end up wrestling. He would always end up being the wrestler. I would always end up being the jobber, getting put into sharpshooters or figure fours or whatever else around the house. But they were totally fine if I had to watch Nitro or Raw during the Attitude Era, during the Monday Night Wars, peak Monday Night Wars. I would go over my neighbor's house, and they were totally supportive of me getting out, probably away from their TV, so that they could watch whatever they needed to. But great. The best mom in my life lives in this house. She's incredible. I love her. She is such a good mom to Freya. Jess is the epitome of motherhood to me. She just does it all and does it all well, and is patient and kind and loving. And that's the common thread that I see in all of these people. It is so different now trying to be a supportive, just a supportive person, just a supportive man in the universe, walking around and seeing moms just trying to mom. It's there's something about moms that there's like a switch that is flicked, that is like a no, I don't need you to get the door for me. I'm insulted by this. When they're holding like 6 bags and some boxes, and they're like, hey, let me get the door for you. And you're like, why? I'm fine. I'm a mom. And that's essentially it. There's some sort of superpower where they have the ability to literally juggle several different things at once. And it's pretty crazy. I have a vivid memory of trying to help Mary Romero, get the door open, walking into the front of MHS. And she had, I think she had the donuts or whatever treats we had in the morning, probably a salt bagel for Carl. And trying to open the door. And I was like, you want me to get it? She's like, no, I'm good. And she like flicked her wrist and keys came from nowhere. And then she got it into the door, which I had nothing in my hands. And she was just like, no, I'm a mom. I'm good. So shout out to all the moms. Shout out to all the moms that have these superpowers. It's pretty remarkable. Like you, I try to be better every day about acknowledge them. Shout out to all the former students that I know that are great moms now too. I texted a few of them this morning and said Happy Mother's Day, and it's pretty cool getting to see that. Now the time though, Tyler, is getting closer for me to start seeing their children in my classrooms, and that's starting to freak me out a little bit. I'm not gonna lie there, but they're also great moms.
I bet it is. Well said on that last point. I certainly echo that. And you're right. They really are. They have superpowers. Thus, they are real life superheroes. Shout out to all of the amazing women, more specifically, the amazing moms in our lives. We hope today was excellent. And we, as Brad said, look forward to acknowledging you because we love you immensely.
Well, from moms to Mami, Tyler, we're going to go through our top 5 Rhea Ripley moments, Mami or otherwise, but we can't have Mother's Day without the Mami in WWE. Tyler, let's start it. My list probably going to be a little bit different, but I have a feeling we're going to have some overlap. I am going to start with mine, if you don't mind, because I want to end and get your reaction with my number 1, or I guess my number 5 on this list. I'm going to reverse order. I don't really have much of an order, and that's Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, final 2 in the Royal Rumble in 2021. It was such a big moment for her, still in NXT, ending the Rumble as a big deal while the world was still shut down, no fans in attendance. So the only way to know what was happening in wrestling, if you weren't in Jacksonville, was to watch. And getting to see Rhea and Bianca finish out the Rumble together, I feel like that was Rhea's arrival on the main roster, her big arrival. She's been in other things, but that was the really big moment. I was so happy because I was already a big fan of Rhea at that point. So seeing her on the on that kind of stage was awesome. Lives in my memory forever.
It's a great way to start this list. That was a huge moment, particularly for Rhea Ripley, because I feel as though Bianca was pretty established by then.
Mm-hmm.
But for Rhea, she had been building all of this momentum. And that was, you know how it goes, Brad, every year, the final 4 of the Rumble, it's always a big deal. We know 3 of them aren't going to win, but just being in that final 4 is noteworthy. And it's a sign typically that the company believes in you and you're probably up next for something really major, which certainly was the case for Rhea Ripley. So my first top 5 for Rhea, my first moment, my first memory has to be her debut in the Mae Young Classic. So this is going all the way back to August 2017. She defeated Miranda Salinas.
Is that long hair Rhea?
Yes, yeah. That is long hair Rhea. It absolutely is. Rhea would actually lose in round 2 against Dakota Kai funny enough.
Oh, wow.
Rhea's become a megastar, but she did not advance very far in the NYC. This actually was the same tournament that saw a finals matchup of Kairi Sane and Shayna Baszler. Kairi Sane went on to defeat the Queen of Spades and won that tourney. But Rhea debuting via the NYC, great showing, and that would lead to success that following year, which I'll get into shortly.
Wow. No tattoo Rhea with the red top.
Jarring.
Such a strange moment in time.
I wonder how
Looking at it
we
now.
looked in 2017. It was probably, maybe I can find a picture.
I feel like it's very similar to this, just maybe a slightly
Really?
fatter, and that's it. 2017, if it was this moment in 2017,
Right.
I don't know.
We knew each other.
Oh yeah, shape,
But
but
it
shape
seems-
face. My face was bald, and I did not have a child.
That's fair. Yeah, I was probably at least like 20 to 30 pounds lighter as well.
I was definitely fatter because of all the fast food. Jess could not have food cooked in the house, outside the house, on the house, near the house, looking at the house. It had to be brought in from afar.
Whose house?
Yeah, no, not
Jess's?
Jess's house. That poor woman in that pregnancy on Mother's Day. That's a hero. That is a hero right there.
100%.
Because I am so blessed to be a dude. Okay, my second on my list. Rhea wins the title with the Judgment Day. Not the first win, but that title win with the Judgment Day. People being excited for her. Huge cheers. Even though she's a heel, nobody cares because she's awesome. So I really loved that. I know maybe that's more recency bias, but it's not that recent. She had quite the run, man. And it would still be going right now if she hadn't gotten injured, which is unfortunate. But I absolutely love that. That was I feel like it was a little bit obvious that it was going to happen, but I'm so glad it did because it's my favorite version of this character for Rhea.
Predictable isn't always bad.
Exactly.
Simple
Cody
enough. My second, November 2018, Rhea defeats Toni Storm to become the inaugural NXT UK champ. The now defunct NXT UK, right? That's not a
gone.
That's not a thing
gone
anymore.
Yeah.
Gosh, I can't believe that. But Rhea, again, this is only just a year after the Mae Young Classic. Obviously, Rhea showed enough and developed enough that she was given the crown. She was able to become the inaugural champ. Big deal. Her and Toni Storm had a really awesome rivalry in NXT UK. And this was the first moment where I think a lot of people's eyes were opened up to Rhea Ripley. And she officially stamped her name as being one to watch.
I have one similar to that in a little bit. I have to have on my list here that Rhea Ripley wins the Rumble from the one spot. It's got to be on there. She went bell to bell here, and similar to other stories. But watching her go all the way through to win the Rumble was awesome, just amazing. Couldn't have deserved it more.
And I want to reemphasize the point that you've been a Rhea stan for years. Brad, you didn't just join the bandwagon over the last 2 years.
I believe she was my first Fig purchase.
I think so. And you had the tea and
yes, I still have. I don't fit in
about
it,
it.
I still have it. Yeah.
Okay, I got to put you over in case people don't know. You've been acknowledging Rhea for a minute, and you've been with her for several years. You saw it, I would argue, before many. She's just really coming to her own, and it's been an absolute joy to see. My third, I love your pick of the Rumble when admittedly I did not have that on my top 5. I might be regretting it. It's a great shout out by you. My number 3, April 2020. If we can go back to that time, if we can think back to that time period. Oh my gosh. WrestleMania 36. The most pivotal WrestleMania in our friendship, Brad.
Yes.
We got you back into wrestling.
My first live one.
A lot of people, yes, I think a lot of people perhaps returned to wrestling during this time period for obvious reasons. We're looking for live entertainment. WrestleMania 36, of course, we're talking about Tampa Bay, the Tampa Bay WrestleMania, but it was broadcast from the Performance Center due to the pandemic. Night 2, Charlotte Flair defeats Rhea Ripley to become the NXT Women's Champion. You may be asking, well, why would you put Rhea losing on your top 5? Rhea, even in the Performance Center WrestleMania, came off like the absolute superstar she is in this match.
Yeah.
This was my favorite match of that WrestleMania weekend. Firefly Funhouse with Bray Wyatt and John
Still
Cena.
amazing.
Yeah, still amazing. I put it in a separate category. I'm not sure how to compare that to the other matches on the card. It was its own entity.
Yeah.
But traditional wrestling match, Rhea and Charlotte won the weekend for me. And even in a losing effort, I believe Rhea just really, her talents just leaped off across the stage, and she was just fantastic. And that match was great. Even in a losing effort, she was really a star of that weekend. So that's my number 3, WrestleMania 2020.
Okay, my next pick on this one, I guess this would be what, 2 for counting down. Okay, Rhea winning the NXT Championship in 2019. Now, the reason that I put this one on here, I've been looking at this through the lens of my fandom rather than like what was the biggest moment of her career. I had to go back. This was the first time I went back to watch NXT was I was so invested in Rhea. I needed to know more because this was around the time I think it was around the time when I started watching when Raquel and Dakota Kai were teamed up in NXT and they were feuding with Rhea, and I was like, oh, this is so great. I just love Rhea. Let me go back and watch this stuff because Triple H said something about her, and I was like, oh, I got to go check this out. Watching her win the title in 2019 was amazing, and her second NXT title, but her first NXT proper title.
Didn't the fans converge on into the ring?
Yeah, I think
or was
so.
it the talent? Where didn't they like?
There were people in the ring. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, I just have a memory of it being a real euphoric moment, and
Yeah.
people were surrounding her, and
It was like
hopefully I remember correctly.
It was also 4 years ago when I watched it, so it's
right.
hard to remember. Almost,
but
this
that,
is my
that,
4-year anniversary right now of getting back into wrestling because it was May in 2020.
It's a big deal. That NXT rivalry between Raquel and Rhea was fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, amazing, man.
Yeah, I think it's my turn. My number 2. I'm gonna go not WrestleMania. Oh no! I do have WrestleMania actually. Hold on. April 2022. WrestleMania Backlash. Rhea interferes in the AJ Styles versus Edge match, costing AJ and Rhea revealing herself as an official Judgment Day member. Of course, this would put everything in motion for Rhea to eventually become the undeclared leader of the Judgment Day, but for her to reveal herself, for her to get back into a meaningful storyline on Raw instead of just existing.
Yeah,
it was great, and it really set up the path for her to become Mami and to become one of the faces of the company. So I'm gonna go WrestleMania Backlash, April 2022. Rhea Ripley officially joins the Judgment Day.
I can't believe it's been that long. That's crazy. That was Edge long ago.
Yes,
crazy. Okay, so my number 1 pick here, Tyler, is not one you're going to have on your list. It's not one anybody's going to have on their list. It's only on my list, and that is Twitter. From a couple years back, Rhea Ripley putting over Freya, bopping out to "This Is My Brutality" in the car seat. One of my favorite moments of the last couple of years.
Remind us, how did that go down?
Freya loves the song, so I was playing the song in the car, and then I just Kevin Dunn zoomed in a whole bunch of times while she was doing this.
It's coming back to me.
Yes, in the back of the car, kicking her feet, and yeah, awesome. And then I put it out there. I tagged her in it, and she just said, "Oh, my heart," and retweeted it,
right.
Or something like that. I think it is, but. Yeah, man, like that was so cool because I got to show Freya. She doesn't really understand what happened there, but I was like, hey, Rhea replied.
She will.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's for me, that's my number 1.
That's beautiful. I completely forgot about that. I hope you forgive me. That was a huge deal.
It was a minute ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's I'm not gonna be upset at that pick whatsoever. My number 1 Comes from earlier this year, February 2024. Elimination Chamber from Perth, Australia. Rhea in her home country.
So good.
In the main event against Nia Jax. Rhea's victorious. The show is built, of course, the show is built around the Elimination Chamber matches, but this year was really built around Rhea Ripley returning home to be showered with the love, the affection from her fellow Australians. It was great, man. It was just, I was so happy for Rhea Ripley seeing that, and it really cemented that she has come such a long way in such a seemingly short amount of time. Of course, Brad, that's the product of hard work. That's the product of more hard work. And we've just watched a superstar develop in front of our very eyes. Elimination Chamber, that's my number one pick. It was a special night. I can only imagine how Rhea Ripley felt about that.
It's a great pick. It's definitely her emotionally. That's got to be the moment. So I'm with you. I'm not mad at that at all. Tyler, we just ran through our top fives. We put over our moms. It's time to talk about what we missed of the week. So what did we miss?
Yeah, we missed a few things. So in terms of the AEW side of the coin, Anarchy in the Arena officially announced for Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
We have the Elite versus FTR, Bryan Danielson and Eddie Kingston. Brad, you know how much affinity I have for Double or Nothing. It is my favorite AEW pay-per-view.
Same.
I didn't even consider that we could get Anarchy in the Arena. Easy for me to say. To Flub Jones. I think this is going to be awesome. I don't know who's going to win. I kind of think you need the Elite to remain dominant, and they need to pick up the victory. But AEW has a track record of doing well with this signature match. So I am really looking forward to that. I want to stick with wrestling for just a moment. As you know, I am on the $1.50 members only TNA wrestling YouTube tier every month. So I get to watch the weekly impacts, which I'm really enjoying. Special acknowledgement though for Jonathan Gresham. I'm gonna have to send this to you if you haven't seen it. He has a new character. He is now the Octopus, Jonathan Gresham. So he's wearing a mask. He spits out ink. He's more vicious and cerebral. It's been fantastic, and I think this is gonna do real wonders for TNA. I can't wait to see what's next. Final two, what did we miss? I would be remiss if we didn't mention hoops here. For the NBA, this is the first time I'm speaking of the Phoenix Suns on air since the very sad yet very predictable collapse. They've fired a coach, and they've also hired a coach. So they fired Frank Vogel, but they have now brought in Mike Budenholzer, Holbrook's favorite son. Brad, you and I were talking before the recording. You are more optimistic than me about all of this. Maybe that's why we are so close, and why I like to keep you around, because you give me that optimism I need for the Suns. I don't think this is going to work out. I'm still concerned about the big three and other elements of the organization. But we'll see what happens. Of course, I'm sure you mentioned this, the Minnesota Timberwolves, they are performing pretty well. Although as we record, they lost to the Denver Nuggets in Game 3. But they have a really interesting ownership situation. The Detroit Pistons have the number 5 pick in this year's draft. I don't know many of the prospects, but perhaps I will by the time the draft happens. I'm going to stick with hoops real quickly. The WNBA is back. There is so much momentum around the W. This is the moment we've been waiting for. Tips off Tuesday. Caitlin Clark's in action. Phoenix Mercury are in action. Kelsey Plum is back. She's single as well, by the way, Brad. I don't know if you heard about this. Darren Waller. What? How could you? Fumbled. Absolutely fumbled, Brad. Have you paid for
Twitter Blue so you can open the DMs?
I've not yet. No, but we'll revisit that at some point.
Don't use the GI account. Okay.
Clip it. No, I will not. I will be yeah. I really enjoy Kelsey Plum, and I'm excited to see what her and her teammates do this year. Speaking of which, I promise I'm getting to the end. Her teammate, Las Vegas Aces Asia Wilson, has become the first Black woman to have a signature Nike sneaker since Cheryl Swoops. That was announced earlier today. The shoe is going to be released next year. Really big look for Asia, arguably the best player in the W right now. And I just made my heart happy to see that news. And then finally, Brad, before I pass it to you, Teacher Appreciation Week, dare I say Teacher Appreciation Month. It's a thing. You're a hero. If you are listening and you are a fellow Marana High School teacher, or you're a teacher anywhere in any capacity, thank you so much for what you do. I have the honor of knowing so many amazing teachers, and you all are just truly the best. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And please know you are appreciated.
Thank you so much for that. I got to have a lot of cookies this week for Teacher Appreciation Week. A lot of love. Felt really good. Very busy week. We don't need to go into all that. You kind of said everything I wanted to say, except a barbed wire cage for Adam Copeland and Malakai Black at Double or Nothing. I sold. I'm going to have to watch it at like 3 a.m. late, but it'll be from a hotel room. So that's good, I guess. Something.
I think Malakai's winning singles gold.
I think so too. Yeah,
I put it out on the ether. No take backs.
I love Adam Copeland. Give it to Malakai. It's time.
I can't.
It's time. It's time 2 years ago, but it's time now too.
I can't wait. Wrestling is so cool. This is so cool. Speaking of time, I think we have reached hours. Brad, I'm so glad we could do this, especially on such a special day like Mother's Day. Thank you all so much for joining us. Please thank a mom in your life. Please make sure to thank a teacher, and make sure to tune in next week. We'll see you then. Gimmick Infringement is a part of 19 Media Group. You can listen to us on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you find podcasts. You can also find us on YouTube via the 19 Media Group channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share.